Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Jaeger again with Attila Total War. We're going to take a look at another one of my online battles. I have to say I've surprised myself with how I've been doing with these online battles. I was never very good at Rome 2 Total War. I was a little bit better at some of the older ones like Rome 1 and Medieval 2 Total War. But I've been doing really good on these quick battles online, so... and you guys seem to be really enjoying these online battles, so... I am going to be playing another one for you guys. Let's watch the replay of this. I will be commanding the Langobards, and my opponent will be commanding the Eastern Roman Empire. I can't remember his name now, but at the end of the video I will show you his name. He did, however, say at the beginning of the game that he was not going to be using Tagmata Cav, which probably brought his overall efficiency down. But I can understand why he was very honorable about it. You know, he didn't want to use the Tagmata because they were pretty overpowered. So, let's check this out, guys. Let's see what we bring now. It is worth mentioning that this is one of the battles that I've had to micromanage more than ever in my life. So I have 1, 2, 3 of these Langobard clubmen. I have 1, 2, 3 of these Germanic archers. The clubmen, I find, are very good tanky units for screening or for just holding a line, and they're pretty cheap too. Then I have 1, 2, 3 Germanic horsemen here. Then I have 2 Germanic horsemen up here trying to just split off his cavalry, which works very perfectly. As you can see, he's already splitting off a very large faction of his cavalry to deal with these guys on the right flank. Then my main line is made up of 1, 2, 3 noble Germanic swordsmen with 1, 2 of the Godonsmen, which are a Longobard specific soldier. Let's look at them really quickly. They are a berserker unit, but they are a little bit more tanky than the berserker units like the Nordic factions can bring. As you can see, they're actually wearing shirts and armor, so they can do that. They are not wearing they are not using axes. They're using swords, however, so they do not have a bonus against infantry, but they still have a very high attack, charge bonus, and weapon damage. And they make up for the lack of infantry damage with armor and a shield. Over here, my enemy has brought 1, 2, 3, 4 of these armored Sagittari. He's also brought a oh god, that's a fucking weird name. It's a medium pike unit anyways for the Western Roman Empire. He's trying to screen his main skirmisher force with that. He's also got 1, 2, 3 Numorai. And then over here he's got 1, 2 Hetari guards that are supporting 1, 2, 3 of these Silver Chevron Clibinari. These are some badass looking shot cav units here. They even have bows. And then his general unit is a Palantina guard. And then over on his right flank he has 1 more of these Clibinari. Now this battle, we both make plenty of mistakes, and I am not the best at micromanaging, and this battle required a lot of micromanaging, so that kind of displays in my favor. We begin exchanging some fire here. One mistake he's made is he's clumped up all of his arch units like this, so I had all 3 of my arch units target this one in the middle, and I'm going to win this archer fight just because of how we've set things up, just because of how we're doing here. Because I have mine spread out, even if he targets this one unit and weakens it with all of these units, I'm still going to win just because even though I'm just targeting one unit just like him, he's got all of his guys in the same area, and so I'm going to get a lot of crossfire on his other units. As you can see, I'm picking up kills on all of his units because they're right here in the same area. So, really poor decision on how to place his archers here. As you can see, we have, he did charge my cavalry, which I was trying to flank him with, but my Germanic horsemen are going to be able to win this fight against the heavy shot cav. They didn't even pull off a very good charge, 57-60, 60-60, and then I'm just going to start taking these shot cav down. Plus I have 1 free heavy melee cav that I'm going to be able to bring around here and use as I feel necessary. Now he's going to do the same thing here and charge my Germanic horseman with his shot cav, which is just fine with me. He doesn't pull off very good charges over here. In fact, I think I intercept him here and charge him. Then he might get a charge with these guys on me, if I remember correctly. And then I'm going to be sending one of these Godon's men in here to assist as he sends some of his axemen in to assist. I think he's got an axeman unit down here somewhere. Or maybe they're both over there. I can't remember for sure. He did pull off a pretty good charge here with these Klibinari into my longboard clubmen. 85 out of 120 left. Not the best charge ever, but it served its purpose. At this point, I had lost an archery. Oh, no, they came back. But I'm pretty content to just sit here and take advantage of his clumped up archers. I don't even really care that he's charging me here. There wasn't too much I could have done about it. I mean, I could have tied him up maybe and then sent in another infantry unit, but I didn't feel like that. So over here, I have won out the battle in this area. Sorry, I keep forgetting that I have these tools. Maximus showed me how to get these painting tools back. And as I said, this fight is just micromanaging hell, because I am not good with micromanaging, and it's hard to talk about this battle because there's so much going on at once. But as you can see, he is sending up his Axeman units, his Hatari Guard, to assist in these fights. And so once they come into play, I'm going to be sending my Godon's men in there as well. And these guys are here mostly to make his formation kind of split up. He doesn't have a very strong infantry base, and so I'm going to be able to flank here, flank another one here, and flank here without his pikemen being able to do anything. And now I am moving up my main infantry force here. He's only got a small pocket of infantry in this area. I had a huge numerical advantage against him. He tried going with he tried to go with these Klibinari with triple silver chevrons as kind of his main money purchase there, which was a mistake, I believe, because he pit them against melee cav. He never used them against infantry like they should have been. And so the money there was wasted, unfortunately for him. So I'm going to be able to pull off a charge into these archers, which are already wavering. And then here I'm going to charge into the backs of his infantry before I even get up in here. I'm pretty content to just... I have the control. I'm controlling the battlefield very well at this point, and so I'm not too worried here. I've also freed up one of my Germanic horsemen over here, and so I'm going to be able to start smashing into the backs of his troops here. As you can see here, the charge went extremely well. Cavalry is just devastating in this game, and I did manage to catch his horsemen and some of his numeri here, and this forces him to change the position of his pikemen. He has got his shot cav still here, devastating my my general. That was a big mistake because I was watching so many other things going on. I didn't even realize that he was hitting my general there. But unfortunately for him, I just have such a tight grasp on the battlefield at this point that that's just not going to win it for him. But I should have been watching that. That was a big mistake on my part. So I finally get some more of these Godon's men here. And I have Godon's men up against his Hatari Guard here. I believe his Hatari Guard are going to win this, but it's a good distraction. I can keep his Hatari Guard distracted for a while I charge here, charge here. I've swept around here. As you can see, there's a pocket of melee infantry fighting here. But I have such a big melee infantry advantage, and I didn't even realize these guys had regathered themselves back here, so they didn't even come into the fight. And I've managed to rout this unit here, the Numorai. And now all that's left of him is this pocket of infantry here. Oh, I just disabled the tool. This pocket of infantry and this Hatari Guard. And so now it's going to be quick. Oh, and this pike infantry. But as you can see, I've got him surrounded on pretty much every front besides this Hatari Guard. But as soon as I win out these fights here and this little skirmish, then I will be able to kill him here. And I have won out this fight as well against his, I think he had Hatari Guards here. Yep. And so I'm able to send another of my Godon's men down here, because this Godon's men is going to retreat under the pressure of his Hatari Guards, because they are a really beastie unit. They will be able to take out a lot of units that way. But now he's just at my mercy at this point. It's just a matter of mopping the field up of his remaining infantry. He's going to try... he tried to rear charge into here for a second, but he realized he needed to engage my Godon's men. And so that ties those up, making them unable to help, and is just mopping up these last two groups with all of my infantry and cav that's left over, which is going to be easy work for them, I do believe. So yeah, this was a fun battle. I've really enjoyed Attila Total War so far. I've done pretty well for myself. I don't want to sound like I'm bragging or anything, but I wouldn't be posting these videos if I was doing really shit. So I'm pretty happy about my performance thus far. I definitely have a lot to learn. I'm definitely not on the level of some of the better Attila players, but I'm managing to pull off a lot of these victories. I've lost one battle so far, so I feel like that's a pretty good streak. So let's just take a look at how effective these units were. As you can see, big mistake on my part letting my general die and not get any kills. His shot cav did very well in killing these guys off quick. These clubmen, Langobard clubmen, did exactly what I wanted them to do, and that was to be a screening force and a holding force if they went up against infantry, which they do pretty well for their price, so good job on their part. Now, same thing with these noble Germanic swordsmen. They are a holding force, in my opinion, and so they did very well on that job as well. Not very many kills, but that's fine. They were just there to hold. And then these Godon's men, I thought would pick up a few more kills, but the fact that he didn't have very much infantry brought down the actual ability of these Godon's men, because they're really best against infantry. As you can see, I got 74 kills with this one, 39 with this one, 27, 0, 1, so not particularly useful, although the fact remains that he didn't bring very many people, so I didn't have to kill very many people, so a lot of these units are still full health, and they didn't get very much action, so that's not their fault that they didn't get a lot of kills, it's just how the battle went. My archers did extremely well, killing off his archers, all 4 of his armored Sagittari, which was a very good price. These Germanic archers are excellent archers, they have good range, and as you can see, just by how you use them in their formations can ultimately determine the skirmish between them. Then my real victory came from these Germanic horsemen. These are excellent units, especially when you give them some upgrades. I got 94, 96, 173, 155, and 183 excellent kills on all of these. Very good for the price. These guys are going to come out and win the day a lot, especially in Attila, where cavalry is so important. As you can see, his Palatina guards did just as well as my general. General units are kind of squishier in Attila than they were in Rome. His pikemen, the Menalatoi, did not very well. His main infantry line did not do very well. This Hatari Guard didn't do particularly well, but this Hatari Guard shows what Hatari Guard can do when they're used as they should be. 366 kills. That's almost half. I lost 888 guys. That's almost half of the kills that he got was with this one unit. So these guys can be used to extreme effectiveness if you know how to use them right. I prefer the Huskarl units and the Axemen of the Nordics for that kind of thing, but the Hatari Guard are also very skilled. As you can see, his archers were highly outclassed in performance anyways. Their armor should have given them the advantage, plus they had one extra unit, so he should have won this fight, but he did not because of how he placed them at the beginning of the fight, all clumped up together. And then, as you can see, mixed results with his Klibinari. These 3 units were used specifically in the cavalry fights, and so they're not going to shine here. They're going to get trampled by other cavalry units. 3, 3, 13. Awful kills for the price. 247, he used this Klibinari against archers and infantry, and that is why it has such high kills. So between this unit and this unit, that's where almost all of his kills came from. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really like playing Attila for you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.